Hey everybody, this is Joel Goldstein. I'm going to be taking you through a little tour of SEO. The first thing we're going to start with is going to be the Google AdWords tool. This is a tool that advertisers online use when they're searching for how to get the best keywords for their campaigns. Now this is primarily designated for a pay-per-click campaign, which means that whenever somebody clicks on an advertisement, the advertiser typically has to pay Google for that lead. Now, we are going to use it as an SEO tool to find out the search volumes, approximate search volumes, that some keywords have. And by doing this, we find what people are actually searching for instead of what we think that they're typing in. So we're going to start with the research. We're going to move on to how to specify what a client's website, their rank is, their credibility is with Google. And that is designated by a Google PageRank. A PageRank is a rating system between 1 and 10, and it tells you what Google thinks that your website's reputation is. If you're a 1, that's less than a 10. So we're going to move on after that onto within Google. So how many pages can you actually find in Google? And then we're going to move on to competition and approximating search volume. So we're starting with the Google AdWords keyword tool. Now this is a tool that Google lends people for free, and our keywords today are going to be New Orleans chiropractor. That's going to be our fictitious client, and we're going to be searching for a general term, chiropractor. Now we have specified our location as within the United States, and we're using only English. If you look right here, it tells us our keywords. So chiropractor comes up with 3,350,000 searches in America per month. If you look here, New Orleans chiropractor, 590 approximate searches per month. Now below, this is where they go into related terms. So they said that because chiropractic takes in back pain, they gave us back pain, and it has a competition level of medium, which doesn't pertain to us with SEO. It's more along the pay-per-click lines, but it has a search volume of 2.75 million. So what this tells us is one of our secondary keywords should be along the lines of back pain or pain treatment. So we are going to be checking the PageRank of the site, and again, this is the credibility that the website has with Google. Now the website that we're going to be checking today is neworleanschiropractic.net. They're currently coming up number 1 when we type in New Orleans chiropractor. And we can see right here that they have a PageRank of 1. I'm currently using checkpagerank.net, but there's a bunch of free tools online where you can find this. And we're going to be going into the site here. I'm going to be showing you a couple things about the website that the typical person doesn't see and doesn't recognize. Google takes a couple things into account, and they prioritize. So the first thing that they take into account is the URL. That is the .com, .net, .org. Right now it's neworleanschiropractic.net. So since we typed in New Orleans chiropractor, it would be more advantageous to have that as a URL, as a .com. .com, .net, .info, it doesn't matter. I get this question a lot. It doesn't matter the extension on the back. However, it does matter in consumer confidence. I would rather click on a .com than a .info. So it's a subconscious decision, and it doesn't make a difference as far as SEO value is concerned. The second thing they take into account is the title up here. Now you see we have New Orleans chiropractic, New Orleans chiropractor, and then the doctor's name. We are going to take a look into the back-end coding of his site. Now this is something that typical people don't see, but this is what Google sees when they search through a site. They see the code. And right here you can see the title tag is New Orleans chiropractic, New Orleans chiropractor. And as we showed before, that shows in the top of the site right here. And it also shows on the bar, depending on your browser. The next thing is the description. It should be typically about 2 sentences long. This shows right here. So whenever you search for the term, this is the description. It's nice to have a one that ends with a period because it's more of a complete sentence. So being able to put the terms in here isn't necessarily important because Google doesn't take into account the description when featuring a website. It's more along the lines of something for the consumer to see what the website's about. It's a chance for the webmaster to tell the consumer what it's about. Often, the search engines, if they don't see a description in the meta tags, they take into account the first sentence and they just feature that. So we can specify what gets shown there. The third thing is not as important in Google. However, Yahoo and Bing still use it. It's the keywords. So he features New Orleans chiropractor first, then chiropractic, and so on and so forth. This doesn't matter in which order. It matters that you have it in there and that it covers all your bases. So we often find that our keyword phrases and our keyword words, they're a long string of words, and it doesn't matter which order they come in. Next, we're going to be jumping over to compete. So let's talk about if we are NewOrleansChiropractor.com and we're not showing up number 1, and we hire the peer marketing group to come in, make us number 1. How can we tell the client what to expect as far as search volume? We can come into compete.com right here. And what this does is through various fields, like an Alexa value, which I'll go into in a second, it tells us what the value of the site is, and it approximates the search traffic. Not always correct, not something to stand by, but it gives us a pretty good approximation. So we can see that right here, and this goes by the month, they received 1,500 people. Then they drop down to 300, and then they go up to 1,000. But this is a pretty good approximation that they get about 1,000 visitors per month by being number 1 under New Orleans Chiropractor. So this will be able to give your clients a pretty good estimation of what they can expect. As I mentioned before, the Alexa value is Alexa is an internet database, and it ranks websites based on how popular they are. So if you're the number 1 most competed, if you're the number 1 most trafficked website, then you'd be up number 1. I think Facebook's number 1 or number 2. And that's how they rank you. It doesn't really make a difference in SEO, but a lot of people, they judge how their website's doing based on their Alexa rank. And it compares everybody apples to apples. If you go into the web archive, which is another fun tool, right here it's under archive.org. You can go into the Wayback Machine. But what it does is it tells you when the site was first indexed within Google. And that's important because the older the site is, the more credibility it has within Google. It plays a key rank, and if we have an older site that hasn't been search engine optimized, we have a good shot of beating out a newer site that is search engine optimized at the top of the search. So I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Please email me. It's joel@peermarketinggroup.com.